Speaking of little guys, we are very excited to have Jill Savage with us. She wrote a book called Personalizing Motherhood. She's the founder of Hearts at Home, and she has a big event going on tomorrow, and we'll tell you about that a little bit later on in the program. But you wrote this book, and I told my wife, who is a stay-at-home mom of 3 children, I said, I have this interview about professionalizing motherhood, and I'm going to tell her all the things that you do wrong, and she can tell you how to fix them.
Oh, no! No, you don't earn points that way.
No. And then I, of course, said I was just joking. This is, I think, something, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe my perspective is wrong, but is it becoming once again in vogue to be a stay-at-home mom?
I think we do have a return back to the home. There are a lot of women that are coming back home and realizing that you can only do this motherhood thing once.
Now, when you originally became a mother, you were working as a music teacher. And,
That's right.
And what made you change your mind to stop from that?
Well, my husband decided to further his education, and so I began to stay at home to support him because I couldn't, we moved to a small community, and I couldn't find a teaching job. So I did daycare in my home. And while I did daycare for 18 months, I really began to have a change of heart, and I began to see that not only did these children need my hugs and my kisses and my time, but my own children did. And so I kind of had a little bit of a shift in my thinking. I thought, well, I'll be home at least until my children get in school.
Why do you think we made the movement from years and years ago? Like when I was a kid, my mom stayed at home with us as well as all my friends for the most part. And then we went through this time where moms were at work and putting their kids in daycare. What kind of made that the paradigm go from one end to the next, do you think?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that we have the most educated generation of moms we've ever had. And so really the glass ceiling, you know, opened up for women, and they have more education, they have more opportunities. And so what happens though is they get into this balance thing and they go, okay, I've got these years of schooling on this hand, and now I have these children. What do I do with that? And you know, for a long time we heard the scream, you can have it all. You can have it all. And now I think what we're hearing more is you can have it all. You just can't necessarily have it all at once.
Okay, do you have in the back of your mind, okay, as soon as my youngest one, because you still have, how old's your youngest one?
5.
Once that youngest one gets into school full-time, are you going to go right back to work? Or
well, I always thought that, but actually I've done a further shift in thinking and realized that as long as my children are at home, they still have need for me. They need for me to be there after school. Now, you know, you can easily begin to work in part-time things there while they're in school and all of that, but they need me to be available to them until they leave my home. And so I've done that further shift.
If there's somebody at home watching right now, a mother at home watching, but has to go to work soon, for example, and she's thinking, man, I wish I could stay at home, but I don't know how I can do it. Will you give tips on how you can make the necessary financial arrangements to be able to stay at home with your kids?
Well, one of the things you immediately do is you begin to realize how much working is costing you. And so you really do an evaluation of that. What is it costing me for the clothes? What is it costing me to drive to work every day? What is the daycare costing? And really to do an evaluation of that. And then you also begin to transition to living on less, to living on, you know, more on one income or 1.5 incomes. And so you begin to make, it's not something you can just decide to do tomorrow. I mean, it's something you have to begin to make adjustments for. But there's a lot of families out there that are doing it. You do have to, I once heard something, it was a quote, somebody said, it's not so much about the high cost of living, about the high cost of the way we choose to live. Our family doesn't have cable television. Now, you know, most people would think that that's a necessity these days. We can't afford cable television, and so we choose not to do that because it doesn't fit into our budget.
Okay, I know that a lot of people become workaholics. If you are a professional mother, do you become a motheraholic? I mean,
you can.
And what do you do to make sure you balance that? What's the most important thing? Is it the kids, or what do you have to do to keep balance?
Well, you know, one of the very most important things you have to learn to do is take care of yourself. And so you have to learn the art of self-care. What fills your tank? Another thing is you have to keep the marriage first. And the marriage needs to be valued as a foundational relationship for the family. And then the third thing is the very reason I'm here in town is the opportunity to seek out some educational opportunities. To have some time with some girlfriends. And we're going to offer that actually this weekend.
I've heard girls' night out so many times, and it is very important. A brand new person comes home after that.
You're exactly right.
Jill, I want to tell people that there's is the Professionalizing Motherhood event tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. until noon at the Greater Portland Bible Church on Southwest Vermont. Registration is $15. For more information, you can call 503-469-0999, and there's a website as well, www.heartsathome.org. Jill, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Great information, and hopefully some women that want to make their dreams come true with this can be helped by you.
That'd be great.
Thank you, Jill.